Featherine Augustus Aurora is not just some powerful character with times mad, times abilities. She's literally a creator-level witch, which means she can bend reality itself to her will. She can manipulate both the human world and the meta world, which is like a layer above regular reality where stories exist. The properly scary part is that she can change events even as they're happening to her. So, if you tried to attack her, she could just rewrite the situation mid-fight. Featherine has lived for over 1,000 years and has already gone through countless cycles of life and death. She's so fed up with living that death doesn't even stick to her anymore. She just keeps coming back. Her only real weakness is this horseshoe-shaped memory device that floats around her head. But damaging it wouldn't even kill her. It would just completely change her personality and appearance, turning her into a different person. So you're not killing her, you're just resetting her into someone else. When Lambda Delta, another super powerful witch, tried to fight her, Lambda went straight for the memory device, thinking she could take Featherine down. But Featherine literally stopped the story they were in because she has author-level powers. She just skipped ahead in the narrative and wrote Lambda's defeat, causing her limbs to fall off without even fighting. Featherine can literally control the plot itself, so any battle with her isn't really a battle. It's her deciding what happens to you. She has an army of overlords from different worlds who serve as her personal guards, and she keeps entire libraries of stories she's collected over her impossibly long life. Infinite Zamasu from Dragon Ball Super literally became the universe itself, and the only way to stop him was to erase all of existence. The core reason Infinite Zamasu is unkillable starts with future Zamasu's wish on the Super Dragon Balls for true immortality, which made him unable to die and unchanged by the passage of time. But what makes Infinite Zamasu so terrifying is what happened after future Trunks cut fused Zamasu in half. Instead of dying, Zamasu's will survive because of that immortality, and he transformed into something way worse. In the anime, he became a non-corporeal being that appeared as an endless number of his face covering the sky. While in the manga, his regeneration went into overdrive and he became multiple versions of fused Zamasu at once. According to Gowasu, Zamasu deliberately cast aside his physical body so he could become one with the very fabric of the cosmos itself, spreading his twisted idea of justice across all of reality. The really broken part about Infinite Zamasu is that normal attacks just don't work on him at all. When Goku, Vegeta, and future Trunks combined their most powerful attacks, a Kamehameha, Gallic Gun, and Final Flash all at once, it had absolutely no effect on Zamasu. He just tanked it without taking any damage and then fired back with energy beams that wiped out almost all life on Earth. In the manga version, his regeneration ability is even more ridiculous than in the anime. When Vegeta blew the fused Zamasu into bits with his Gamma Burst Flash, even the tiniest pieces of Zamasu regenerated into full clones that were all equal in power. The series specifically states that this regeneration surpasses even Majin Buu's abilities because Buu can't create multiple equal power versions of himself from tiny fragments. So every time you try to destroy Infinite Zamasu in the manga, you just create more copies of him that are all just as strong. Yogiri Takato from Instant Death is probably the most frustrating character to even think about fighting because the entire concept of his power is that you literally cannot kill him. His ability just won't allow it. His signature power is Instant Death, which lets him kill anything and everything with a single thought. But the real reason he's unkillable is his automatic times defense times system. Even if an opponent is faster than what Yogiri can physically react to, his power activates automatically and kills them before any harm is done to him. This works against beings who can move at the speed of light, entities that can move through time with physical speed alone, and even creatures that exist beyond time and space completely. The series straight up states that it doesn't matter how fast the opponent is, Yogiri's ability will always successfully kill them first. This automatic times, defense times, was active even when he was a baby. And it keeps working when he's asleep, too. What makes him truly impossible to kill is that his human form is just a vessel for something way more terrifying. An abstract eldritch being from a higher plane of existence that represents the end of all things. This true form has existed since the very beginning of everything and is omnipresent across all of space and time in every multiverse. No matter what kind of damage is done to Yogiri's human body, it means nothing to his true form. which will manifest to protect him if anything tries to kill the vessel for good. When one character tried using a time stop ability to kill him, Yogiri's true form could still act during the stop time and kept the attacker in check. According to the ultimate god in the series, it's impossible to even change or manipulate Yogiri's past, because his ability automatically retaliates against anyone who tries. His instant death ability doesn't just kill people, it completely negates every form of survival you can think of. It bypasses resurrection, regeneration, immunity to death, invulnerability, and even works on people who are already dead or entities where the concept of death doesn't apply to them. Power has no cause and effect relationship, meaning even transcendent beings and gods couldn't detect any kind of power being emitted from him when he uses it. His ability transcends causality and doesn't follow logic. When his victims die, even time reversal can't bring them back. His kills are completely irreversible. He can also kill abstract concepts like time, space, gravity, or the laws of entire realities. He killed someone's connection to the universe itself, leaving them as just a powerless consciousness. The times, really mad times part, is when powerful beings die to Yogiri's ability, their consciousness gets sent to the endless void, which is part of his true form's body. In this void, omnipotence doesn't work, space doesn't exist, time doesn't apply, and you just melt into the darkness. The only weaknesses Yogiri has are completely situational and basically impossible to exploit. He'd have to manually close all his gates himself to become vulnerable, and even then he can reopen them whenever he wants. Mercurious from Diaz is hard to kill that even he can't kill himself, which is the entire problem. He's a hegemony god known as the Fourth Heaven, and he's been sitting on the throne longer than any other god in the series. We're talking at least 30,000 to 40,000 times Na years, which is an absolutely insane amount of time. The reason he's basically unkillable comes down to his law called eternal mercurial recurrence, which is the most frustrating power for anyone trying to take him down. When this law is active, every time a soul dies, it automatically gets sent back to the moment it was born, trapping the entire world in an endless repeating loop. The worst part is that this law keeps working even after Mercurius himself dies, and it can rewind even the throne itself, which exists outside of time. Mercurius is so bored with living forever that he's actively trying to die, but his own power won't let him. The only way to permanently shut off his law and actually kill him for good is to meet one specific condition. He has to die while being embraced by Marie, the woman he fell in love with. That's literally the only loophole in his system. In one of the endings, even after Mercurius finally dies in Marie's arms like he wanted, his law forces the world to loop one more time just to restore the throne so Marie can take it. In another timeline, Mercurius actually gets killed along with Reinhardt, Ren, and Marie while fighting Hajin. But guess what happens? His law just reverses time all the way back to before the events of Dassarai even started, essentially undoing his death completely. His actual combat abilities are ridiculous too. He has an attack called Sequer Natum where he gathers thousands of stars into one point and condenses them into a single blast that's powerful enough to times atomize times another hegemony god with one hit. And he actually did this to Neurosi Satan. Anna's Voldigoad from the Misfit of Demon King Academy is the kind of character where trying to kill him is literally the worst mistake you could make, because the closer he gets to death, the stronger he becomes. Anos is known as the Demon King of Tyranny, and his magic power is so ridiculously high that when they tried to measure it with a power crystal, the crystal just shattered because it couldn't handle the reading. But here's the thing that makes him basically unkillable. Anos has what's called a source of destruction, and as a Voldigoad, his blood is the king of destruction itself. The times mad times part is that the closer his source approaches destruction, the more powerful it becomes. And because he specializes times in destruction magic, this effect is even stronger on him than on other beings. Anos has even theorized times that if his source ever actually dies, only the infinitely swollen magic power might remain, which means killing him could potentially just leave behind an unstoppable force of pure destruction. If you somehow manage to damage Anos' source, which is already nearly impossible, you trigger something even worse, the Demon King's blood. This is a black corrosive substance that spews out from his source when it's damaged, and it's so powerful that even the abilities of gods get corroded by it. If whatever damaged his source can't withstand this blood, it could irreparably damage the entire world itself. When this blood accumulates, its corrosive power can actually surpass the world's ability to regenerate and slowly cause the destruction of everything. During his fight with Melhysperon, it was revealed that all of Anno's feats up to that point were performed with less than a tenth of his true power, because he wasn't fully used to his new reincarnated body yet. Later, in his fight with Graham, Annos admitted that he constantly suppresses and offsets his own power with itself and controls the barely remaining magic just so the world won't be destroyed. He's not fighting at full strength. He's fighting while actively working to not accidentally erase reality. Annos also casually displays insane physical abilities, like lifting entire castles with one hand, moving the moon with his bare hands to create a solar eclipse, and holding up a collapsing sky with raw strength alone. Reinhardt van Astrea from ReZero has literal plot times, armor times built into his abilities. The biggest reason he's unkillable is his divine protection of the Phoenix, which lets him come back to life even after he's been killed. The truly broken part is that every time he revives, he gets another copy of this divine protection, which means he can just keep dying and coming back over and over again. But that's just the start of his ridiculous survival abilities. Reinhardt has the power to request any divine protection he feels like he needs in a specific situation and keep them permanently. According to one character who calculated it, Reinhardt has at least 251 divine protections, and that number keeps growing whenever he feels like he needs more. This means he can literally gain whatever ability he needs to survive any situation thrown at him. His defensive times abilities are absolutely insane and cover pretty much every way you could think of to kill someone. He has a divine protection that makes projectiles curve around him like there's a barrier wrapped around him, so shooting him won't work. He reduces the effectiveness of all magic by 80%, and he's completely immune to magical buffs, debuffs, curse arts, diseases, toxins, poisons, drugs, and alcohol. He cannot be ambushed thanks to his divine protections, and he's unable to be hit by the first strike at the start of combat unless he allows it or physically can't avoid it. Even if you somehow manage to damage him, spirits are so attracted to him that whenever he's in an area with spirits, they'll automatically move on their own to heal him. The healing rate is so fast that he can recover entire missing limbs that have been completely destroyed. To make things even more unfair, Reinhardt has a defective gate that absorbs mana from the atmosphere, which means everyone within a certain distance of him becomes unable to use magic because all the mana diverts to him instead. Akuto Sai from Demon King Daimo is destined to become the Demon King, and that destiny comes with some seriously overpowered abilities that make taking him down nearly impossible. The first major problem anyone faces when trying to kill Akuto is his healing factor. His body can recover rapidly from injuries, which already puts him way above normal humans in terms of survivability. But the real issue is that Akuto possesses unparalleled magical power that's so vast it often manifests unconsciously, meaning even when he's not trying to defend times himself, his power automatically kicks in and causes destruction around him. This happened multiple times in the series, where his terrible control of mana caused massive explosions of energy without him even meaning to do it. So, if you're trying to attack him, you're dealing with someone whose power responds on its own before he even realizes he's in danger. His demonic nature enhanced his physical capabilities way beyond normal humans, giving him superhuman agility, speed, and resilience that let him take hits that would destroy regular people. He's strong enough that he casually crushed the bones of multiple thugs when he was ambushed. And he can manipulate energy to create powerful blasts and barriers that can disintegrate large-scale threats. But here's where it gets really unfair. As a Demon King, Akuto has authority over demonic entities and can summon them at will. Meaning, even if you somehow get past his personal times, defenses asterisk, you're now dealing with an army of demons he can call up. The dragon, Peterhouse, and literally fought Akuto, lost, and swore to live under his command. The most broken part of Akuto's survival ability is his reality alteration power. As his abilities mature throughout the series, Akuto gains the ability to alter reality itself, which is described as a reflection of his status as the apex of magical beings. This means that at his peak, Akuto can literally reshape reality according to his will, though it requires precise control. Rimuru Tempest is the Times bloke Times, who has so many backup plans for survival that you'd need to destroy him on multiple levels of existence just to have a chance. The biggest reason he's unkillable is his infinite regeneration ability. Rimuru can regenerate from complete physical destruction as long as he has magicals, magic energy in his body. As he gets stronger throughout the series, this regeneration evolves to the point where he can recover from mid-godly level damage, which means he can regenerate even if his soul and spiritual body are destroyed. What makes Rimuru even more frustrating to kill is that he has multiple types of immortality stacked on top of each other. As a semi-spiritual life form, he doesn't age at all, doesn't need to breathe, eat, or sleep, and can survive having his entire physical body wiped out. But even if you somehow manage to kill him, Rimuru can resurrect himself. His ultimate skill partner, originally called Great Sage and later evolved into Raphael and then Seil, will automatically revive him when he dies, and he comes back stronger than before. On top of that, Rimuru has something called Soul Corridor, which is implied to be even better than his infinite regeneration and allows him to come back from complete information eraser, basically being erased from reality itself. If somehow destroying him completely and negating his resurrection still doesn't work, Rimuru has another trick up his sleeve. He can transfer his consciousness to clone bodies. His enhanced body double ability means that even if his main body is destroyed, he can just move his core, which is a set of consciousness and information particles, to another clone and keep going. This is a Type 6 immortality that makes targeting his physical form pointless because he's not really tied to any single body. Rimuru also has a Type 8 immortality that lets him resurrect as long as his sworn friend, Yogiri Tempest, exists, creating yet another backup system for survival. Tiamat from Fate Grand Order completely lacks the concept of death itself, making her virtually unkillable without being able to enforce that concept onto her powerful Saint Graph. This isn't just some vague immortality. The series makes it clear that you need a noble phantasm capable of gathering all the magical energy of an entire era just to have a shot at destroying her Sea of Life. And even that's not enough because the sea will just re-emerge from her body in a short while after being completely destroyed. This happened multiple times in the story, like when Pedradello obliterated her Sea of Life, and after she fell into the underworld, it just came back. What makes Tiamat even more broken is her independent manifestation skill at B rank, which grants her immunity against existential threats by way of time paradox, or the instantaneous imposition of death. This means you can't kill her by messing with time or trying to instantly kill her. Those methods just don't work. On top of that, there's a Times hypothesized Times ability called Paradox Restoration that comes from her nature as the mother of Genesis. The theory is that she operates under a law of nature, where she is the first to be born into the world and the last to die. Which means, as long as another life exists within the same world as Tiamat, she may be literally incapable of dying. That's not a Times defensive Times ability you can break through. That's a fundamental rule of reality itself, working in her favor. If you like this video, turn on the notification bell and subscribe for more.